Look at this. I got headphones on. I got a mic going. Baby.
If
Huh?
only people could see you now.
Hey, no video. We've gone through this before.
All right,
No video.
all right. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
Tape. It's one of those little slidey things, but you still gotta.
You went legit, baby.
You still have to know how to use the slidey thingy. The fuck are you, man? You're in the dark. What's going on?
No, yeah. You know what? I'm using the other half of the studio. So normally I sit on that side, and it's that kind of like orangey brown. But I figured out that it's more comfortable to sit here.
Whatever makes you happy.
Blankets for sound and stuff like that. So, and then the mic is all hooked up here, so I don't have to worry about it. So
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I've actually got it sitting on the piano, so you can't see it, but there's literally a piano underneath this. So
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. You do what you do, right? So, yeah. Man,
All good in the head, baby. All good in the head.
Doing that well.
Just whatever. It's like a little cold, I guess, or
Yeah.
One of those summertime freaking things.
It's the fall germination.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know why we don't have kids in school anymore. I mean, Daniel's going to university. It's not like he's up there contracting anything per se, right? So I'm not too sure.
Bringing it home.
No, so I think it's just I know a lot of people have been sick in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it just hit me I could feel it coming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's sort of, and then yesterday morning I just felt coming on. I feel like a bag of shit. I just felt terrible.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, just got to rest up because I'm flying Wednesday night. So
Yeah. You got to rest up. Flying sick is gross.
Yeah, it's gross, right?
Yeah.
And you're plugging and
Yeah. It's
going to be more miserable than normal. It's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, no, it's going to be gross. Yeah.
Who's going to win that? Nobody's going to win. There's no winner in that game, Phil. No winner. Complete losers. Everybody's going to be a loser if I'm going to be just miserable.
Oh man. Thanks for doing this time. It's just
no, thanks for making it work.
No, yeah, it's all good. It's just been one of those, it's been one of those weeks, right? So
how's things? What's going on?
It's good. Man, that is the fastest I've ever been in and out of Europe ever.
That wasn't very bright, eh?
Yeah, no. Well, no. I had to do the meeting.
I understand that. You should have stayed an extra day or so. It wasn't very bright.
No, I just had so many things going on that I literally couldn't, kind of like take another day, So I would have felt a lot of pressure. I would have felt so. It was just
how far is the flight from Toronto Toronto, London?
It's 7 hours.
So 7-hour flight, 5-hour time change, and you did it in 2 days. I mean, I've done them too. We all have, but it's not. Yeah, you can't make it. Great. It still doesn't make it bright.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, so I flew midnight on Tuesday night. Arrived.
At least you could sleep.
Yeah, 11 a.m. ish Wednesday. The agency I was going to, so this is the marketing agency that I've contracted to do the work for me. They're not based in London. That's the hard part because they're not based in London. They're based in it's like 2 hours outside of London.
Say if it's not in London, everything seems to be 2 hours out.
Yeah. I don't even know why I can't remember the name, but anyway, it's not in London, so it was like 2 hours outside of London. So I had to get there, and then, but it was worth it. I spent a full day with them, just kind of like getting, because we're such a complicated business in terms of like things that you need to know, and so we just I needed to sit with them and make sure, because sometimes terminology, like if you work in over-the-counter drugs, right? Like there's terminology that you have to know.
Right.
There are things that you can say. There are a lot of things you can't say. And to most marketing agencies, it's like, whatever, just tell me what to say. But it's almost like you need context. If you don't say it right, it takes you a long time to undo things, Right. And so it's very much one of those, right? So I went down and spent the day with them, kind of unloaded some ideas I had on campaigns. They, it was cool, right? We had full conversations about marketing campaigns, SEO campaigns. I showed them the work I was doing, so it was really good, right? It was a good chance to transfer some knowledge and get these guys up to speed. So, yeah, and
It's
then
good though. It's just still a long way to go to do all that. But I mean,
yeah. So I was in. So they're based in Exeter, which is kind of like southwest of London. It's a beautiful city. It's like a little cathedral city. The Gauls and the Romans were there before them. The whole bit, right? So, really cute. And then, so I was there like Wednesday afternoon. So I got to walk around for about 90 minutes and then grab some dinner, and then I still had phone calls, right? So I was working into Toronto time, so it would have been, I think my last phone call was 10 p.m. UK time, which would have been 5 p.m. here, right? So did that, went to bed, woke up, spent the whole day with them, and then left their office, went straight to the train station. The only thing I did was I transferred at Paddington Station, so I got a chance to meet Paddington Bear.
Yeah, I saw your pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, that was really cool. I kind of like, it's just a funny thing, right? Like, I couldn't take more time to have more moments, but I was kind of determined to have at least a moment. So, so finding Paddington Bear was kind of a highlight. Actually, I didn't think I would be so excited by it, but I was.
Because you didn't see anything, man. If you didn't see Paddington, what were we going to see?
Yeah, I know. So I
mean, seriously, it's a long way to travel just to to do just to work. I mean, it's everybody's done it. It's not the end of the world, but it's a hike.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's a hike.
So yeah. So
I was doing the same. I filled out the paperwork for Global.
Okay.
Right. Not a big deal, right? But it's a 6-hour, 7-hour. It's a whole day to get there from Vancouver. So I asked her for an extra night.
Yeah.
Same reason, right? It's not a big deal, but it's for us going to Florida is like you going to London.
Yep.
Actually, it's probably twice as fast for you to get to London than it is for me to get to Florida.
Really?
Because I don't think there's any direct flights, or there wasn't at one time. They may be back on and off, but.
So you got to fly to like Seattle or Dallas.
I may have to fly to Toronto and down.
What?
Which makes no sense. Now they may have them. Listen, that was a while ago. They used to do the Miami run, like typically in the summer months, and in Orlando, sort of in those times. But I don't know if they winters.
There's got to be like a Dallas flip over.
Even Dallas, though. I mean, if you think, I guess Dallas is sort of due south, and then you got to go due sort of. It's just a shit show, no matter what. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I mean, honestly, not the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
Not the end of the world.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of my week, and then like literally. So it's funny because I couldn't sleep Friday night, right? So I'd been working, kind of like nonstop, got on a train, and like London trains are amazing, right? European trains are amazing.
They're awesome.
I worked on the train, got back to the hotel, got room service, and then couldn't sleep. So
you need drugs.
Well, I kind of like took a nap, but I fell asleep watching something, and then it woke me up, and then that was it, right?
It's not really a sleep. Right?
And then I did the math because I had to be up by 5 anyway, and so when I did the math, I was like, well, if I'm up at 5, that's really midnight Toronto time, so I'm not going to bother now, right? Like, so I'm just going to stay up and then sleep on the plane. So I slept like 3.5 hours on the plane. Got up, did some more work. Came home, took another round of phone calls, and then that night, my daughter had tickets to Shawn Mendes, and so my wife was going to go, but my wife's like, "Look, I've got a huge migraine. I don't think I'm going to survive." Right? So I was like, "Great, no problem. I'll take her." So wound up going to Shawn Mendes. Right? So I literally stayed up like 24 hours, right, before I got home to go to bed. So it's kind of nuts.
That sounds so super exciting, Shawn Mendes. The voice of Tim Hortons.
So he was actually really cool. Like, it was a great show.
He's supposed to be actually a kind of a cool kid to watch. I mean,
yeah, he was entertaining. So it was fun. It was fun.
Right? I mean, it's nice you spend some time with your daughter anyway.
Yeah.
Really, what did it kill you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of
good, man.
So that's like, it's been kind of a crazy week. So yeah. But it's all good. Pretty excited because momentum is continuing, right? So like my website traffic is up double. So it was up double. I've held it. I think I'm going to be able to go up another 30% this week.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and then
And the leads?
what happens is like the leads are coming in now, right? So, like so much so that the office manager who kind of handles generic pings to the inbox, like the info at NIMI, is going, listen, I think I'm going to have to turn this thing over to you because I can't keep answering all these, right? Like there's a lot of like inbound questions that I don't know what I'm supposed to do with now, which is kind of cool.
Pretty kind of cool. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So that's what you would deem as successful.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, seriously, that's fantastic, no?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you should be excited. I mean, shit, there's no bad news in that.
No, I'm excited. It's a good thing. So yeah. So that's what's going on. Like
right on.
So I'm just, we're building on it. We're trying to get more stuff done now. There's my God, the next 2 weeks is nothing but trade shows. I got a team going to Boston, got a team going to Milwaukee, and then Berlin. Do you know?
Are you having to do any of them, or are you going to be able?
No, I'm
not the team.
Any of the shows. I'm sending the teams, so I'm quarterbacking from the office. It's kind of where they need me right now because there's just too many things going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and quite frankly, I don't make a trade show. I'm not, not crying about it. I just
it's not like you haven't done enough of them. Are you trying to get into the CFHA this week or what?
What's that? Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Are you going in?
No, I don't think so. Oh, no, I have time for you guys, but probably not CHFA. So, yeah.
You guys, what you guys?
You guys, for you.
Man, I get in Thursday morning, I think at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be downtown at the Airbnb at 2, and then we have meetings at 10:30.
Oh.
I mean, that's okay. I'll bring drugs. I mean, I'll sleep, but I mean, and then Friday, I think we're setting up, and Saturday, Sunday's the show, and Sunday night I leave.
Wow.
So hopefully we'll be able to connect somewhere in that mess, but I just don't know where it's going to be.
No, it's okay. But I'm local. So you just let me know.
Yeah. And if not, I mean, I think I'm going to end up being in Toronto probably every other month.
Okay.
It's probably what it's going to look like because I'll come back and I'll I'll visit with my national sales guy there. So that he's
what you're saying is I'll be tired of you and I shouldn't worry about this time.
Yeah, like I wouldn't worry about missing you on one trip. By about the third trip, by about Feb, you're not going to want me around anyway. So, and then we're doing like a global pet together. Yeah. I mean, honestly, once a week we talk and then we got to see each other. No, it's not. It's not good for you.
No, I hear you. It's all good.
You know what it's like. It's travel, right? I mean,
listen, like I totally understand it, right? Because I think when you the first couple of times you travel for things, it's all really cool and fun, right? But now you're like, I'm in a place where I'm like, I need to get in, I need to get out. Like I'm still gonna try and find some fun moments, but
I'll look for the moments too. But quite frankly, it's all about getting in, doing the work, and going home.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm not there. Like my mom will even say, "Oh, did you go visit your cousin like in Edmonton?" Or something. I'm not there for that.
No,
I'm just not there for that. I'm tired. I'm working. I'm in, out. I do not want to sit there and have to worry about planning a dinner or phoning the last minute. 'Cause you know what it's like.
Yeah,
I'll be there at 5, and before you know, it's 9.
Yeah,
right. Because things happen, right? Or something gets pulled off because you're there for work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know and I had some other people. Oh, we'll catch up at the show. I said, well, at the show, I can't book breakfast. I can't book lunch. I can't book dinner because I don't know what's going on.
No.
Right? If we get lucky on the day in that minute, 100%. But otherwise, I can't plan nothing.
Yeah. I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's all good. So, I mean, even this trip,
a lot worse things in life.
If you have time, you buzz me, and then
I'll buzz you anyway. I'll just let you know what we're doing.
Figure it out, but if we can't, then we can't, right? And we'll figure it out next time. So if not, I'll see you on the podcast sometime anyway. So.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I guess I'll have to figure out. I guess I'm bringing the mic and stuff, and if we can't do it, we may actually be able to record Thursday night, and maybe more. I'm closer to what time you normally do it anyway.
Okay.
Right, because if I do have to go out for dinner or whatever,
that's a long day, man. It's a long day.
Yeah, but I get in at like I told you, I should be at the bed in the Airbnb by like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Okay. If I take a sleeping pill, I mean, I'll be out like if I take a pill like 15 minutes and then I'm gone.
Gotcha.
I get 5-6 hours sleep. It's good enough. What do you need?
Okay.
As long as I don't feel like this,
Yeah.
And then I'm fine. It's not
Yeah.
the end of the world.
Okay,
You know
we'll
what
figure it
travel's
out.
like? I mean, fucking who
I do.
sleeps?
I do.
I'll sleep when I come back.
Sleep on the plane on the way back.
I
Yeah.
can't sleep on planes, man.
Really?
I
Man.
can sleep in planes if I sleep in business, or if I'm sleeping like in economy plus where I can lean. I can't these chairs. First off, I feel bad about leaning back. I really do, because when I'm trying to work and the clown in front of me is leaning back, no offense to the clown in front of me, but like fuck, really?
Yeah.
I've got my laptop. I'm typing like a tyrannosaurus, like at the little arms out. You know, it's not.
But and even more dangerous is like you worry about snapping the screen, right?
Well, that's just it. Because if it's lodged underneath the stupid, what do you call it? You know, where the tray comes down. Like fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and then people are so delicate on planes. Like when they get out of their seat, they have to touch everybody's seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And reef on the one, you know, whether they're in front of you pushing back or the one behind you pulling you forward, or, you know, like I think, Jesus, people. What happened to the days of travel? There should be, you know what? We got to cut people off the damn plane. There should be like a business section where people are just a little bit more civilized in that section. Oh shit, going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be, I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know if
anymore. It's too far gone.
It'd be, you know, the funny thing that I'm surprised that they haven't figured out how to do is you've got all these screens that are behind, you know, like they do all this work and they put up these screens. It'd be neat if I could just plug in.
Just like an HDMI cord or something. Just
like if I could plug in and then just use a keyboard and type. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and then that would like sort out a lot of my issues, right? So, anyway, I don't know.
Again, you know what? It's just it's travel problems, and most people on the flight, if you look around, it's not like everybody's on laptops working. There's a handful of knuckleheads, you know, like us.
Yeah.
Most people, if they're doing it, they're probably watching a movie, and a lot of people sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm not one of those people that can sleep. I'm just.
I sleep a lot on planes. Yeah. So what's going on with you? What's new?
Dude, it's been just same. It's one of those weeks, you know, I'm just trying to figure out where retail is going in general. About, you know, because I've got one of the accounts has a bunch of stuff going on in the States and in Canada. Yeah. You know, another client is all here. Another one is all through Alberta, BC. But it just seems like everybody's got on the same boat, is trying to figure out what the consumer really wants, and then trying to understand how these retailers are managing their business these days. I think this, and we can talk about this, I think we'll see it global as well, because it's mostly that size of retailer that seems to be struggling the most. Yeah. Although some of the chains do too. Is I think they're too freaked out about the online thing, right? That's happening regardless. And I think what they're doing, you know what? It's almost like self-fulfilling. If you think one guy's going to hurt you and you start going right into defense mode, well, what happens? Then you stop seeing things. You stop seeing opportunities. Yeah. You stop
creating opportunities.
Shit. Exactly. Now you're completely reactive and no longer proactive. So what I'm finding, and I don't know if maybe you know, because you've been in this boat, and I mean, you're not so much in that retail side anymore, but you get like a lot of the Americans are leveraging distributors heavily. Yeah. Right. As opposed to going direct. Yeah. Even though going direct would save you money because you're buying right from the manufacturer, but they don't want to commit to inventory. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of onesies and twosies, right? Yep. Which is great for the retailer because they're not now committed to inventory.
Yeah, and you just transfer the risk somewhere else, though.
Right. But what you also transfer is any of the in-store excitement. It's hard to get excited about walking into one pet bed, 2 bottles of Tylenol, 3 boxes of Christie cookies. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you build anything? How do you display that in a manner that gets us excited to buy? Do you know what I mean? It's great. So then what happens? Then you go into retail, and what do? You look at it and think, oh, fuck, man, this is boring. Well, so then what do? Then you just do the bare minimum and get the hell out, or maybe you do go shopping online because the web pages are quite attractive, et cetera, et cetera. Do you know what I mean? It's almost self-fulfilling. So you wonder what's going to be the demise of retail. Sometimes I think retailers are the demise of retail. You got to get out of the fear game. It's not that you have to overcommit to inventory, but you got to make it. You got to give me a reason to want to be in your store. Like you gotta do something. Don't you? You know what I mean?
There has to be a happy balance, right? Like so. I mean, you know, this is kind of like the art of the ski rat stuff, right? Is like
totally.
You gotta, you know, you can't afford. The truth is, what you could do 20 years ago was to carry 1,000 codes and guess, right? what a
Well, you could be like Amazon, carry
consumer
everything that you want
wants.
and just put it out there,
Yeah,
and something will happen.
yeah, but
Not no more.
you can't now, and so, but you also can't carry 10 codes now, right? Because nobody's going to
No.
buy it, right? And so you do have to figure out, like, you know, showing my age a little bit, but do you think of like consumers distributing? They had like an entire storefront full of magazines, right?
Yeah.
Everyone went in and just shopped by flipping through a magazine. You could do it at home, right?
Right.
You do it with the one at home.
But that's old school internet. For all the people who don't know what the internet was before the internet. The internet before was called a catalog.
A catalog, yeah.
Like a Sears catalog or consumer distributor. You went in, you looked at the catalog, and you ordered.
Like, and consumers was like the consumers was like the Amazon of the day, right? Like you didn't get to see it until you ordered it. And so you would like, so what you would do is you would go into the store, you would open a catalog, you would look for what you want, and then you would write down, you know, A1, C2, whatever the catalog number is. And then you would walk up and line up at a counter. I give the guy a scrap of paper, and then they would disappear into the back somewhere and then bring back out your thing, right? And that was the first moment you'd ever be able to see it.
Right.
Like, so you wonder if there isn't a way that you do, you know, a nice mix. Like, you know who does a lot of that? Sephora does that. Sephora does a really great job of like mixing up almost like online cataloging in store with like having stuff, right? Like cosmetics, they don't have a lot of stuff on hand, right? They probably had 3 or 4, right? And then the rest of it is online, but they have technology that helps you like pick shade colors. It helps you mimic, you know, your face and your skin tone.
It's back to
like
experience.
Yeah.
Right. What they're offering is not just SKUs or no SKUs.
Mm-mm.
It's the experience part. I think I flipped you an article. It was last week, maybe the week before. And that's sort of what, you know, it's just been one of those weeks where the more you're talking to people is, you know, and everybody, you know, we go from buzzword to buzzword. Now it's, you know, it needs to be experiential, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah.
And to me, what experiential means, you got to be able to go in and give me a reason to be here. Like if I walk in and you have stuff, but you don't have a lot of it, and it's not displayed well, like it's like food on the plate. If it doesn't look appealing, I'm not buying.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like you shop with your eyes, you eat with your eyes. It's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
Or your other senses. It's not just about the physical purchase.
Yeah.
Like I still want to be not razzle dazzled, but I'd like to feel good about it. And I'm just finding that it seems to be a trend is how they're trying to combat online is almost the ticket for online to succeed even more than it's going to anyway.
Yeah.
Like you're giving me no reason to come to your store.
Yep. Yeah.
You may not have it, and you can bring it in, but I'm thinking I could have done that at home and not got off my ass.
Yep.
I don't mind waiting 2 days. None of us do. That's what you're all using Amazon to some degree. So it's not like we mind waiting.
Yeah.
But I do mind waiting if I got off my ass and into the car and went to your store. And now you're telling me I have to wait. What was the whole point of the store?
Yeah.
Isn't that the purpose of the retail outlet?
Yeah.
Right. Or sell me something that you have then.
Yeah.
Right. But it seems that it's the last 10 days or so, like it's just really bothering me more. It's probably because I've been more involved in some of the US stuff with one of my clients. And it's just one of those things you're thinking, Jesus Christ. I mean, why would you buy so much through distributors? And then the comment back was inventory controlled by onesies and twosies. I thought, wow.
Yeah. You almost want, you know, what we were talking about, I think a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about the art of retail.
Yeah.
There's kind of this, you know, the why you do it really matter. Like, are you in business because you're trying to minimize risk and like minimize inventory? Are you there, you know, for a consumer, and who is your consumer, right? Like,
right.
You know, it should be a pretty clear path of like, this is my consumer. This is what they care about. So I have to figure out how to stock the things they care about. And then, you know, if I offer them an extra experience of being able to, you know, after what they care about, if I'm able to give them what they want by delivering it to their house or
just offering something different in the store, because you have education and knowledge and you can walk me through. Listen, you can wait 2 days for that cup, but I have another cup.
Yeah.
And here's why. I'm just going to tell you that it's you're going to be just as happy, if not happier, because you can have it right now.
Yeah. Or and then like, do you train? Do you do some of that stuff that incorporates cost metrics and figure out like, look, you know what? Hey, employee, if they're willing to buy the in-stock item that's on my shelf at the moment, I'm happy to give them another 10% off because that'll save me inventory cost, right? That'll save me leaving it on shelf. So if they're leaning towards buying something online and coming back in 2 days, I really don't want to them to walk out of the store without a purchase. So give them the extra 10 off, and then I save some inventory, and then, or
give them an adjacency, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to train your customers to think, because you know what they're going to do. Then they'll just come in and they'll ask for something and you don't have, they know you don't have. But maybe it's an adjacency, right?
Yeah.
This is what, this here. However, these are some other items you may want to consider. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you a break on these ones, because you're going to have to wait for the thing you want. There's a million ways to do it. But again, that's what experience to me means. Experience doesn't mean I have to go into your store and you got a fucking roller coaster. That's not an experience. It's an experience. I don't give a shit though. It's not the experience.
It's a terrible experience is what it is. Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe if you're selling roller coasters, it's a good experience. I get to try the stuff out. I don't know.
Sure.
But it's not what I think what people lost sight of is they think experience needs to be, you go in and there's some big event, or you're getting a ton of free coffee or whatever. And that's not, that's nice.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm getting at. Like what I'm getting at is I want to be able to buy what I want to buy. And I would love for you to, if you don't have what I have no problem. You offer me something else, but tell me, just walk me through why.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm one of those ones. I probably would just, if you told me that, Motrin was as good as Advil, I'm not saying that's a good example. If you walk me through as a pharmacist, what would I say to you? Okay. Why would you lie?
Yeah.
It's a drug.
Yeah.
Telling me what, okay, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not what I normally would do. I'd rather have Advil.
Yeah.
Right? But if I know Motrin is now the same thing, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You go for a nice glass, if we went to Jack's, if they don't have the wine, you don't think Tim's trained his people to tell you, listen, you can wait for it. We can get it free. No issues.
Yeah.
Could take anywhere from
other ones.
But here's 15 other ones that you really should consider.
And if you don't like it, we'll take it back.
Exactly. Okay. But tell me that's not a good experience.
Yeah.
Right? So if you look at it, like if you look at how Tim's running Jack's, the odds of them surviving to me are substantially greater than a lot of the other people that I have been sort of paying more attention to lately than maybe I have in the past. Even some of my little drugstore accounts that we're trying to help, it's the same thing. It's what you said at the beginning. SKU rats are important. Taking a look, do you need all this other shit? So that you can free up some inventory dollars. So maybe you can buy a little deeper on some of the stuff that you should know that your customers want, because you're supposed to know who your customers are.
Yeah.
But I think retailers are getting so bogged down into the fear and trying to combat online. Again, you're combating online by not bringing stuff in or bringing in small amounts. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get that connection.
Not helpful.
Maybe it's just me and you. Maybe someone out there sees it differently, and there's something we're missing. But I'm not getting it.
No, I think like, so where the sophistication has happened, right? Like the big guys have started to figure this out. Like you look at Walmart, right? Walmart's done like amazing things, right? Is they've figured out like, look, people love Walmart because of the assortment they have, right? But they don't love walking through
assortment. They've got locations, but nobody really likes Walmart.
But nobody likes the shopping experience. But Walmart is also committed to, look, I could make the experience amazing, and it'll cost you more money, or I can give you, kind of the cheapest experience, but get you the best thing on the dollar, right?
And what do people want when they shop Walmart?
Yeah, they want the price. Yeah,
that's it. That's why they're there.
They figured it out,
so they know it.
And then they did pickup, right?
Yeah.
So you don't even have to come in the store. All you got to do is order it at the price you want, and then you tell us when you're here, and we'll bring it out to your car. And it's taken off like crazy because they continue to up the experience, right? So now I love Walmart. I don't ever go in a Walmart. I can't actually remember the last time I stepped foot in a Walmart, but I'll buy there because now everything's cheaper.
I say buy there, buy Amazon. I'd rather go to the Walmart to some degree because I can just go. I can go pick it up when I want. The store's not far away. I'm out anyway. I don't like the fact that, most of otherwise the online purchases are just left on door stoops all over the fucking place.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even should understand that service. What service is that?
I don't know. No, I think Amazon. Amazon to me, like the cheap, and then I can get it the next day. Really, like that and Walmart, like the two are, hand in
That's
hand.
what you're looking for, right?
Powerful combination, right? Like it really
Totally.
is a powerful combination.
Totally.
So, but I think the point I'm trying to get to is those guys have figured out what it is. Like Walmart is like, look, I could put a circus in every store. I really could, right? Like if anyone could,
actually, they really could.
But you don't want that from me. What you want is cheapest price. So I'm going to do that. But my experiential is I can now offer you that and offer you the chance not to step into a store if you want that, right? And that's and people love that, right? Because they're like, I get the prices and I don't have to go in the store.
You can walk in the store. Just don't expect much more than just a old school, bare bones, big, not very attractive retailer. But again, if you're shopping that wasn't what and that they know their customer. Their customer doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where if you go into Sephora, it's different.
Yeah.
Like I think the one's that's really gonna shake it up is Ulta is gonna shake it up big time in Canada for cosmetics.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think it's necessarily gonna it's gonna hurt Sephora to some degree, but Sephora is kind of like your Apple.
Mm-hmm.
You get hardcore users, no matter what, they're gonna stay with it. It's just kind of cool and it's nice.
Yeah.
But if I'm a Shoppers Drug Mart, a Rexall, a London,
I'm scared of Ulta.
Fuck, man. I'm telling you right now, if you're not terrified, then you got your head up your ass.
Like
because these guys get it. Their stores are clean.
Yeah.
They offer everything.
Yeah.
It may not be in the fanciest way like a Sephora, but it's not Dollar Central either.
No.
Right? They're a problem child, I think, for a lot of those other accounts.
I think the Rexall guys have a lot to worry about. Your alma mater, London's going to have a lot to worry about.
And I think Shoppers does too, to be very frank with you.
Shoppers just has a little bit more room to go, right? Because they've expanded a little bit more. But it is going to hurt them as well, right? Like
it's going to come from somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think it'll put the nail in the coffin for the Loblaws. Like all those cosmetic things in the Loblaws. I just don't.
Yeah, I think any of the grocers, in essence.
Yeah, there's
like if you're not going to be in the game, just don't be in the game. Yeah. Do you remember how like when Canadian Tire? I mean, they've been around forever, but when they really started expanding across Canada a lot more, automotive died in drugstores all of a sudden, and in grocers, Staples comes. Unless you're, like some of my clients where they're the only drugstore in town. Town's 3,000 people. They're sort of like a mini Staples, so they can still manage.
Mm-hmm.
But in a town of 100,000 people, and if you're still running 60, 72, 88 feet of stationary, like you're delusional.
Yeah. See ya.
I don't. Unless you can prove me wrong. I have no clue what you're doing.
No
clue what you're doing.
Those guys, like they need to. It's a lot about figuring out what your why is, right? Like figure out why you're there.
Exactly.
It's not enough. Like 20 years ago, there was enough business that if you just said, I just want to make the customer happy, right? Like you could make a living at it. Not a great living even then, but you could make a living at it. But now you can't. Like if you don't know why you're there and you don't know what your customer base is for, you're so jammed, right? Like,
well, you're just wasting. There's your inventory issue.
Yeah.
There's money. And I know the ruler might have only costed $1.
Yeah.
But you had to order 24 of them, and buddy, you ain't going to sell them.
No, you're not.
So you can do all the math all you want. Like I'll give you, like in Alberta, especially with the drugstores, and actually rural BC, they get all hyperactive on the giftware.
Yeah.
And they all love candles and clocks and frames. And you go into their stores and they're packed with all this shite.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, guys, have you never heard of Wayfair? Have you not heard of eBay? Have you not heard of Amazon? This shit is available everywhere at half the price you are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're the only guy in town. Amazon's in every town.
Yep.
Right? Yep. So why offer the same shit that they're going to offer?
Absolutely not. Like that's the first thing about
ridiculous.
You've got
You're a drugstore. Do something different, man.
Yeah, offer something that's unique, right? Like, yeah, it's tough. I mean, hopefully these guys get it, right? I mean,
Well, I think that's why it's going to be kind of cool at the pet show in some ways.
Yeah.
Is, and I guess as we get closer we start really looking at presentations and stuff, when you start looking at it, I mean, that's one of the reasons for the SKU rat, to tell them it's not to empty the store of inventory. It's to empty the store of the dead inventory and maybe bulk up on some of the other stuff to really show your consumer that, you know what, I'm in the game, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here for you. The everyday shit that you want and a couple really cool things that nobody else, I got them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you as the customer, right? So I know, look, you know what? I know that thing, that routine commodity thing that you were going to buy, you're not going to buy it from me. You're going to go to Amazon. So I'm not going to bother to even sell you that. Right.
No.
Like, here's what I am going to sell you, because you'd never find this on Amazon, or you would never think to order this from Amazon. Like those are the things that
right. Or you don't necessarily going to trust it from there for whatever reasons, because that comes into play too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? There's a play. I mean, with Amazon, it's so stupid, right? Amazon starts selling prescriptions like they're starting to do in the States. You know what? I still don't know if I want to buy. I don't know. Like, I kind of like if I'm going to go get stuff, I still like seeing the pharmacist. I still, want to make sure. And it's so stupid. It's the same shit. But you get those perceptions. Maybe younger people don't. Maybe that's a function of age too. I don't know. Maybe if you talk to younger people, they're going to tell you, listen, Dad, it's the same stuff. Drugs are drugs are drugs are drugs. Who cares where they come from?
But it's actually not the same, right? Because you do get interactions where there are moments where the pharmacist will go, doctor prescribed this for you, but I noticed that you've got these 3 things in your regimen, right? Like,
right.
And that happens more when you're older than when you're young, right? But
right.
And then they'll say to you, you really shouldn't take these 2 together. So I know that it says 3 times a day, but take this one in the first and then take that one like 2 hours later. Otherwise you're going to have problems. Right.
Right.
And those are things that, Amazon still can't do that, right? They're not going to do that.
Well, I think anytime you lose a person, it's not going to do that. Right. And the other thing is, like, without talking to anybody, because a pharmacist could ask you a silly thing, hey, how are you finding in the mornings? Oh, I'm a little bit bloated. Well, here's why you are.
Yeah.
But if you didn't talk to a human, what's Amazon going to prompt you on?
I don't know.
Right. And AI just learns what you tell it to learn. It's not going to sit there and it doesn't think for you. Do you do what I mean? Like it grows. I get that, but it's still not intuitive. It doesn't sit there and look at your eyes and say, Phil, your eyes are a little bit something, or whatever it is. They'll look at things that the computer can't, unless the computers are there and scanning you and checking all these wonderful things. But when's that going to happen? That's not going to happen in the next 5 years.
I don't know how. Yeah, and I feel like, because I feel like, like if I come out from a doctor and I'm not feeling well, and the doctor just said, listen, like, you got, like, here's a really simple one, right? We're going to cough cold season. Strep is probably about a month away, right?
Yeah.
And so if I go to the doctor and the doctor says, you got strep, here's your script, here you go. I'm not going to Amazon first. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to come out of this thing and I gotta photograph my script, right? And then what am I going to do? I'm going to upload it to Amazon. Amazon's going to fulfill the order and send it to me and have it there. I have Amazon Prime, so it'd be at my house in 24 hours. But if I go to my local Shoppers, I'll have it in 40 minutes.
Well, like, even if it's an hour and a half, but why would I want to wait?
Yeah, like the time it would take me to drive from, because I never go to the pharmacist that's in the same building with the doctor. I figure they're in cahoots. So, anyway.
Like, what's that got to do with anything?
It's just that I just find sometimes their prices are a little bit higher.
Yeah, but on prescription. It's the cost is the cost. I mean, they might ding you on a dispensing fee, but whatever.
Anyway, so I'll go to the Shoppers near my house. Know those guys pretty well, and then so it'd take me 15 minutes to get there. I'll wait 15 or 20 minutes for it, and then I've got my drugs that I need, so I can start. So I don't know if I would be waiting 24 hours if I lived in a U.S. town where I could get stuff in 3 hours.
I don't know, man. Like, if I'm not feeling good, I go right to the pharmacist immediately.
Like, would you
Why
wait?
am I waiting?
Would I wait 3 hours to go and get something for strep throat? like, because if that's that's the fastest Amazon can deliver, right? It's 3 hours, right? So if you
Right.
have a locker in your town. So if you're a U.S. college town, you probably have a locker, and they can do it same day, and they can do it within 3 or 4 hours. That's the fastest that they'll go. So if I got strep throat, I'm unhappy, I'm feverish, I'm in pain.
I'm going right to the pharmacist
Man,
now.
I'm going to the pharmacist right now. So I don't know where in that trip the only places I see that drugstores will wind up getting hurt is if I'm on long-term cholesterol medicine, if I'm on long-term heart medication, like any of those things that require a regular delivery of drugs.
Right.
I might be inclined to go, okay, so if I sign up, and I don't even know if it works this way, but if I had a 5% discount because I subscribed, and then you ship me the drugs every time I need it,
It'd be
I
via
might be
dispensing
inclined to
fee.
do that.
You can't discount the drug, but you could
Right.
discount the dispensing fee.
Yeah. So I might be inclined to do that because
Possibly.
anything that I would have learned about the cholesterol medicine, I already knew. Right.
Right. Now, unless your pharmacist is a really good
Yeah.
pharmacist.
Yeah.
See, this is what I tell the pharmacist owners and that I deal with.
Yeah.
I said, if all you do is dispense, a monkey can dispense.
Yeah. Amazon can dispense.
Anybody can dispense. Script Pro dispenses.
Yeah. Yeah.
The beauty of you as an individual is that you should look at me, ask me a bunch of questions, even if I'm in here all the time. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Yeah.
Like you're the one that knows what these drugs do to me. Maybe I don't know that sore left toe is because I'm taking the Lipitor's bugging me or something. What the hell do I know? I don't know you know what I mean? Like, so now if you're a pharmacist and you don't ask me anything for the 3 or 4 years I'm coming to you, well, then you deserve what you get. Because basically what you've told me is that any monkey can do this.
Yeah.
And the machine being the monkey. So, that's again, but what is that? That's what we sort of started about talking about. That's back to, what is retail doing to combat online? So if all you're doing is saying, well, I'll just dispense faster and I won't talk to people. Well, fuck, you're playing right into their game.
Yeah.
If anything, why don't you take a little longer? Help me out. Walk me through some stuff. Give me some other alternatives I should be I don't know what it is, but that's not for me to figure out. It's your world. Maybe you should have a physio guy closer to you. Maybe you should have a homeopathic guy tied to you. Maybe you should have gym memberships that I can get a discount via you because you're going to tell me that to help my diabetes, I should lose weight, or I don't give a shit what it is. Figure it out.
There was a drug chain out west. I don't think it was your alma mater, but one of them actually had pharmacist assistants going out and talking to people in the aisles. And they
everybody has talked about it.
Yeah, no, somebody actually did it, and their stuff was so much higher. Like
I think we did it with you guys with J&J.
Yeah,
we had it was in collaboration with J&J. We were going to have J&J, and it might have been a few of the other non-competing vendors, and helping us fund manpower so that we could say, listen, but put it this way, if I had a junior pharmacist, or forget that, give me the senior pharmacist, put the junior in the back, give me the senior pharmacist, 8 hours on the floor, just walking the aisles. You know how much shit that guy's going to sell, or girl?
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what it was, is we saw, so what Kenny and I are talking about is like, if you're in Canada and you go to a Shoppers Drug Mart and you've got someone someone who's beauty trained, kind of walking the aisles, right, teaching you about beauty. But what we're talking about is someone, in the
walking
pharmacy aisles, right? Like walking the counter aisles and explaining vitamins to you. If you're wondering what the difference between Tylenol, Advil, and Aleve is, this person would be your person. And I can't remember who the drug chain was, but somebody did it, and their shopping basket numbers were like twice the size of everybody else. Shopping basket is when let's say I go in and I buy toilet paper, and then the ability of a grocer or the ability of a retailer to make you buy more things than just that toilet paper, right? And so the more things you buy, the bigger your basket is. And so in retail, you measure that to figure out, like, how successful you are at getting them to be distracted and buy more stuff, right? But I remember seeing the results for this one drug retailer and going, "Oh, what the hell happened? Like, what do they do?
Right.
Whatever they're doing, we need to make everybody else do the same thing," because it was like insane.
You know what it is though? Again, it's pretty basic. It's experience.
Yeah, it's just,
You know what the
it's just
experience was?
somebody
I got
explaining,
personal help.
you know. Yeah,
Someone walked me through. Someone gave a shit and took the time
yeah,
to just walk through this with me.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Again, it's no different. Jack's is easy because liquor's fun, but why do they do that?
yeah,
If you go to like a normal liquor store, maybe an Ontario liquor store might be very similar to BC, but a BC liquor store, unless they're filling the shelves,
yeah,
quite frankly, there's really nobody around.
yeah,
Right. I mean, you can find people and they're generally friendly. It's not that they're mean people,
yeah.
but there's no real incentive for them to walk around. What do they give a shit?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But if you go to a Jack's and you walk and you're in there, they're walking. The once, you know, especially stuff like that, because I may not be 100% sure, you start talking to me and give me suggestions, and as long as you're not pushing, you know, 4 times what I was willing to spend, I'm probably gonna buy.
Yeah, what you recommended. Yeah,
I'm probably gonna do it.
yeah,
Right. It's not because you're trying to, it's a service. Like you're actually doing what I expect you to do. I came into your store to buy something. I'm obviously okay with that concept. Otherwise I wouldn't be in your store.
yep.
And the whole point of being in the store is I'm assuming I want to buy something.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm guessing that's why we're there.
Listen, I go to a new restaurant, and my favorite thing to do is to ask the server what their favorite dish is.
Yeah. What do you like?
Do you know? Like, because I'll look at the menu and go, okay, like I know, you know, I'm a fried food junkie, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm like you. I love fried foods. Like fried food, anything.
I could, if I had a week to live, I'd probably kill myself eating fried food, right?
Fried
Like,
food. Yeah. Fried anything.
You know, so I could pick that all day, but I usually go into places, and if it's like a new place, literally if the server isn't shifty or kind of sketchy, pretty much like, hey, what's your fave? Like, what's the thing everybody comes here for?
Right.
Or like, what's the thing that you love the most, right? And they always have an answer, right? Like, I've been some places where they don't have an answer. And
some of it, you know, the answer you don't want is the one you're going to think of.
Yeah.
Well, it's all really good. No, that's bullshit.
No,
That's not true.
Yeah.
And I'd rather the ones say, listen, I wouldn't do that, or that.
Yeah.
These ones here, oh my God, are killer. Now, if it turns out that I don't like it because it might just not be my taste, that's fine. But the fact that you were passionate enough to, one, you tried the food.
Yeah.
Two, you gave a shit, like you actually to remember it. And now you're trying to help me.
And that's experiential right there.
That's an experience.
Yeah.
Right? Not cutting things off the menu or having one halibut or one steak. Yeah. And when it sells out, it sells out. You know, it's like, you think, we go to a restaurant. You know, we went to see Mark Maron on Friday night.
How'd it go?
Oh, fuck, he's funny, man. Oh my God, he's so funny.
He's hilarious. I love that guy.
Well, I honestly, I can't stop laughing. I don't know what it is about that guy. He just makes me laugh. No, you know what I think it is? I think I grew up with him.
Really?
That's what it is. I grew up with about 50 Mark Marons. I swear to God. I think I'm Mark Maron half the time. Like I think there's so many people. You just know who he is. Do you know what I mean? Really enjoyed him. But the restaurant we went to, oh my, you know, so we said, how are the nachos? They're really good. We don't have any nachos tonight. We don't have, let's say it was like chicken wings or something. Well, first off, you're a fucking bar. I mean, those are,
what?
I mean, if you said I didn't have the filet mignon, I would, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You don't have nachos? Really?
Yeah. We're a bakery. We don't have bread.
Yeah, no bread today. No, we're skipping bread.
Yeah.
All right. You know, you go to an Italian place. Well, we don't have pasta. Okay. Like.
Oh my God. That's.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's not again. That could have been. Who knows what? What is it? Just should be. You know, it's 6:30 on a Friday night, downtown Vancouver.
So it's not even.
What's
I mean, because I can see that. So if it was like 10:30 at night, she'd be like, "Listen, we had an exceptional night. Like wings were $0.25 a piece, and they just blew out, right? So they're all gone." But at
6:30 Friday night, Vancouver.
Prime time. Yeah.
There's grocers down the street. You could go buy all the nachos you want.
Yeah. That feels
like that doesn't make any sense to me.
It feels off. Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
Pissed me off anyway. But that's sort of what I've been at these days. Is just I'm trying to understand where retailers are at in their little heads and trying to figure out, geez, you guys, you're missing the boat on what experiential means. Nobody's told you to put a roller coaster in the store.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to tell you is be ready for when I do come in the store.
Yeah.
Give me a reason, man. Give me a reason to buy.
So interesting for, the guys who are listening to this would love to hear We'd love to hear either. Well, if you want to give us both, we'd love that too. But if you have a favorite retail moment, or you have a terrible retail moment, that would be.
Or tell me what experiential means to you.
Yeah,
I was curious to see what even that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you and I have defined sort of what we feel
Yeah.
is experiential.
Yeah.
Maybe people do want roller coasters in the stores. Maybe that's what they think. I don't know.
Maybe
can't get that online, so I can't see that the kicker.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I mean, any one of those, if you want to ping us, you can reach us on Twitter at This Commerce Life. You can reach us at thiscommercelife.com. No, you can't. We don't have that. You can reach us on Facebook, ping the page, or you can email us at thiscommercelife at gmail.com.
Or just go find one of the two of us. We're all over. Listen, it's easier to find us than it is This Commerce Life sometimes.
Yes, it is true, actually. It is true.
Just go find Phil or myself.
Yeah.
Like you can't find us.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, easy peasy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on,
buddy.
man.
All right, man. I'm going to go rest up. Try to get better before I go.
Yeah, have a nice trip. And then, listen,
I'll chat with you.
No pressure. So you've got a lot of stuff going on. If it doesn't,
I'm not worried. If I see you, I see you. If I don't, I don't. Trust me. Out of anybody, you're the least of my least of the issues that way.
Okay.
That's not. Yeah. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll catch you on the next trip for sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, buddy.
All right, buddy.
We'll chat later this week.
You got it.
Take care. Have a good day. Ciao.
You too. Bye. All right, that's the end of This Commerce Life. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Subscribe, like us, join us, share us, tell your friends about us. And we hope to see you next time with more commerce news.